welcome to my channel. Today I have a story that's going to touch your heart. If you're like me, sometimes the simplest moments can feel incredibly profound and meaningful. So, grab some tissues, sit back, and let's dive into this tale of connection and kindness. It was just another day at work for me. You see, I'm a tech support specialist in a store that helps folks with their consumer-level gadgets. A few days ago, an elderly gentleman walked through the door wearing what looked like a mix of nervousness and hope. Our receptionist had made him a walk-in appointment earlier that morning because he was having trouble with his tablet. As I opened up his file, all I saw were two notes: third-party software and hard of hearing. My heart sank a little. It wasn't going to be an easy fix. But then Pete walked in, and something caught my attention. He was staring at my lips as if trying to read them. "Do you know American Sign Language?" I asked him cautiously, hoping that maybe there was a chance we could communicate more effectively. Pete nodded and signed yes. It felt like the universe had aligned. For months, I'd been learning ASL as a side hobby. It's always good to have another language under your belt in tech support, right? Turns out, Pete needed help with Skype on his roughly 5-year-old tablet. The app kept crashing when he tried to make video calls with his wife, who is deaf. She lives in another continent. She traveled there for a temporary work opportunity and would be there for 2 years. This was the midpoint of her journey, which meant it had been about 1 year since Pete last saw his wife face to face. Skype was their lifeline. The only way they knew how to communicate efficiently over such vast distances. Neither of them felt comfortable with email or other text-based services. As I verified that he knew his password and made sure there was a backup of his device, we signed back and forth. Pete's smile grew wider with each passing moment. It was incredible to see him so engaged and relieved. It wasn't just about the tech fix anymore. It was about connecting on another level. Once everything was verified and backed up, I uninstalled Skype, reinstalled it, and had Pete sign in again. He tested the call function. And there we were, watching the loading screen anxiously as it started to buffer. Would it crash like before, or would this moment finally come true? And then, it was Pete who had tears streaming down his face as he waved to his wife through Skype. I stepped away to give him some privacy and let them catch up after such a long time apart. The room fell silent except for the sound of their laughter and warm greetings that filled the air like music. Can you imagine being separated from your loved one in this way? For a year, unable to see or hear them, only communicating through a flawed app. But here they were, reconnected, smiling, happy tears rolling down Pete's face. It was one of those moments where I felt like more than just a technician. I was part of their story. I stayed back and watched him wave goodbye after what seemed like too short a conversation. But then, something unexpected happened. He turned to me with gratitude in his eyes and signed an apology for taking up my time. How could this be a burden when it brought such joy? As I finished writing my notes, Pete came over, gave me a small hug, and left with a smile that said more than any words ever could. It's days like these that remind us why we do what we do. Even though fixing the tablet took less time than most appointments, this interaction felt monumental in its impact. It made me feel like I was making a difference beyond just troubleshooting tech issues. And now, as I look back on those few minutes, Pete's smile still lingers with me. That moment of connection is something I'll carry with me always. A reminder that sometimes, the most profound moments come from simple acts of kindness and understanding. Thanks for watching this touching story about finding common ground through language and technology. If you found it as heartwarming as I did, please give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. There's more stories like this one waiting just for you. See you next time!